we have two colors of satin, $1.97 a yard, and this is the thickness of the elastic that I'll be using. Good morning, everyone. Today I am going to attempt to make my very own satin scarf, and I want to share with you the reason why. Well, the main reason why is all of the ones that I buy from the beauty supply store, see that rubber part there? It always hurt my ears, hurt my forehead, leave a mark on my forehead, and it's either too small, too tight. I can never find one that fits comfortable. Even the ones that have that kind of like, what is that, cotton band around it, it's just always too tight for my forehead. A lot of times I have to end up cutting the poor little scarves and tying them in the front. Let me show you. Like this one, I cut it, and then I have to tie it just to make it fit. And plus, my afro is growing fast. I am like 8, almost 9 months post big chop, and look how fast it's growing. It's not even picked all the way out. I kind of like just I like to not pick it all the way out. See, it's not even picked all the way out, but you guys know about the shrinkage. Okay, let me move this towel so you can see a little bit. The shrinkage is real. Not even picked out all the way. And I don't like to pick it out all the way. I like to just kind of lift it and shape it. Okay, so, and when I do wear these, even though I have to tie them and manipulate them, I turn them on the opposite side so that this side is on my skin and this rubber side is actually on the outside, because I just can't deal with it. And when I do get a good one, like this is $3.99, reversible. It don't have that rubber, but this is an adult one, but it don't even fit right. Watch. I can't even really get this on my head all the way. Look at that. So I figure if I make one just my size for myself, $3.99 for this, and I paid $1.99 a yard for satin fabric, and the elastic was only like $2.48, so less than $8. I can make probably 8 to 10 of these myself. And like I said, when I do wear one with this elastic, I have the elastic on the outside so that I can see, this one don't even hardly fit that much either no more, because my hair is growing so fast. See the elastic on the outside? Because like I say, it will do some damage to the little earlobe. Really hurts in the morning. Okay, so I'm going to use my sewing machine. I don't know what it's going to turn out like. I'm going to try to incorporate both colors together, the turquoise and the black. And I'm going to try to make that rubber not show, but to be like this. The rubber is all on the inside. I just want it to fit properly. So I'm going for this style with the reversible, so you can wear it on any side, and with the rubber not showing so that it will not hurt your ears and leave a mark, a sore mark on your forehead. But this is how I like to shape my afro. So I'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing I did was draw a circle. I don't have a guide as to get a circle as big as I want it. This circle might be too big, but if it is, I'll just cut it. But I want to make sure that it's going to fit. I am going to cut this one and then use that as a guide to cut the turquoise. But I'm using chalk and Frisker's scissors. My chalk wasn't showing up on this lighter turquoise material. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see? I used a pen to trace around it, so I'm going to cut it out. I have my 2 pieces cut. This is not a perfect circle, but it's going to look like a perfect circle hopefully once I finish. Now my concept, which I hope work, and if it don't, I'll just keep trying this until I get it right. I have 2 yards of fabric. My concept is to sew these 2 together around here, and then what I want to do, I was thinking about leaving a open space and flipping it on the outside, and then, but my basic concept is to sew these 2 fabrics together, maybe turn it over, so flip it over, but then to take the elastic around the edge and of what's sewed together, and then flip them like that and sew the elastic inside so the elastic won't have to be on my skin. So let's see if that method is going to work. And hopefully if it does. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to come up with something else. Even if I have to end up sewing it like the original ones with just a piece of fabric or double fabric and just having an elastic show, I'll just flip it over on the other side like I do these ones. My main thing is I want it to not be so tight and to fit my afro. So let's see how it starts and how it ends. I'm going to start on the sewing machine. Let me show you my sewing machine real quick. This is the Singer. I have 3 of them, 2 brothers and a Singer. And I like them all because they all sew differently depending on what stitch you want to use and what material. But I like the spool thread. So I started sewing masks when the pandemic first started and no one had masks. So that's why I have 3 sewing machines. So let's see what we can do with this. I got it pretty much sewed. I did leave about 2 inches because I'm going to flip it inside out. I'm going to trim the edges just a little bit more with the scissors. Oh, that's kind of close right there. Let me see. Okay, but it's still there. So I'm going to trim the edges and flip it back over on the inside. One moment. I trimmed the edges. And you see all this little fabric particles on my couch? I am going to use this lint roller to make them disappear. Oops, I didn't mean to do all that. But yeah, just use the lint roller and it'll come right up. You might have to change the paper a few times. It'll come up. I'll get it all up later. Guys, you saw how big that circle was, right? I tried it kind of like just over my head. Just me turning it inside out. Before I turned it inside out. And I still don't think that it's going to fit my head. Now this is, let me show you how big it is so far. That's how big this whole circle is so far. But this material don't stretch. So I don't know if this thing's still going to be big enough. But if it don't, at least I know that I can make one. I'll just make that circle a little bit bigger. But let me go ahead and try to finish it and see what happens. I'm not going to even cut the elastic. I'm just going to let it hang while I sew because I don't know how much I need. And I don't want to get the wrong amount. Something is telling me to, instead of trying to do it like this, I don't see how that's going to stretch that elastic. Something is telling me to sew about a ½ inch on around here so that I can actually feed the elastic through and then sew the elastic on. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Let me go ahead and do that. And if this don't work for me, it'll be for one of my little neighbor kids down the stairs. Okay guys, I got that sewed. Now I can feed my elastic through, and instead of sewing my elastic, I can pull it as tight as I want it and then just stop it there. Or I might just keep my elastic out and be able to pull it as tight as I want it. Let me see what I'm about to do with that. Okay, I couldn't find a safety pin at the moment. I have some somewhere, but I don't have time to go and look too long. So I got one of these hairpins, and I tied a knot on the end, just one loop, and I'm going to feed it through. I'm just determined to get a cap that works well on my hair, even if it don't look good enough to run to the gas station. I said I was going to stop doing that. I stopped wearing it in Walmart, but every now and then, if I just have to go somewhere and don't get out the car, like take my son to work, sometime I might wear it, but I stopped wearing it like in Walmart. But I never wore the pajamas and the house shoes and all of that. Ooh, this thing, I think I need something that ain't gonna stick out, because it's trying to like come, it's giving me a problem. I mean, it's working, but you have to really work with it. Let me get this through. I'll be back. So it's working better now. I had to really bend the edges because they were sticking out through the fabric. They like kind of like press them together. The edges, the two ends of the pen. Look at that, guys. Looking more and more like a hair cap. It ain't the cutest cap in the world, but it's gonna be comfortable. I'd rather have comfortable over cute. I mean, because this is in the house and at night, basically while I'm sleeping. So I'd rather have it to be comfortable than cute and uncomfortable. One time I do cute and uncomfortable, and I don't really do that no more, is if I'm wearing those heels and they killing my feet, but I'm walking like they don't. So I started wearing mostly wedges where I can really walk and work that walk, which is a wedge can also be just as high as a heel. Look at that. I'm so proud. Wow, it's not even done, but look, guys, it's working. I don't know what size it's going to be, but I'm going to try it on for you. And like I said, if it's not the correct size, at least I know that it'll work. Okay. So we got the end out. Goodness. It's like a baby hair cap, but still. It's a cap. But look at that. So basically, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. What I'm going to probably do is go ahead and, but I'm proud of myself though for not having, but for being able to just get this far. I'm going to perfect these. Yes. So what I'm going to do, look at that. I am going to go ahead and leave some of this rubber out and sew, going on and sew on around here so that I can still pull it. And I think I might just leave my rubber out and just be able to tie my rubber as tight as I want it. But anyway, let me try it on for you. Let me go ahead and sew that and try it on for you. So guys, my comfortable baby is finished, and this is what the final product is going to be like. It's not perfect yet, but I will make the rest of them until they get perfect. Okay, but as you can see, I went ahead and sewed that piece together and that piece together, and you can still pull. I'm just going to leave it as an adjustable. So let's go and try it on. Okay guys, let me just take this towel all the way down for a moment. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and this is what it is. So I'm going to start out by just pulling it just to get myself, circle, put it on my head, and then I'll adjust it I'm going to have the turquoise side inside. Like I said, it might not fit my head right now. And I might have to do a bigger one. Yep, I got to make a bigger one. Goodness. It's still not big enough. After all that big old circle. It's still not big enough. But the concept. I'm going to have to figure out how to sew it, not to have to adjust it, but I don't mind being able to adjust it to my comfort level. But I'm going to get this on today just to show you that it will work. Oh, it's getting on now too. But it's a little small for me. But I can loosen it up. That rubber not so tight. And then it's not going to aggravate my ears and skin. Because even though this thing is too small for my head, it's not uncomfortable. It's not tight around the edges. And this will probably work too. Different sizes for different people. But yeah, I definitely can sleep in this tonight. And I'm going to. But I'm going to make another one. And then I guess what you could do, you could just, but I don't want that. I don't want all that rubber. I'm going to have to come up with something else. I don't want, maybe I got too much rubber. But when I had to actually feed another piece of rubber through. But I don't want to, I should make a little pocket up here so I can tuck the rubber in there. Because I definitely don't want to tuck it under on my hair. But still, it worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. And I'm so excited. And it's comfortable. It really is. I'm wondering if but see, if I cut some of the rubber, and then you can turn this around. You don't have to have this part in the front. You can turn it around in the back. But my main thing is it works. And I'm excited. And this is actually quite comfortable, to be honest with you. So that's my first time. And like I said, I will try to figure out how to perfect it. But in the meantime and in between time, I will be wearing this to sleep. That's a lot of rubber. Like I said, if I cut half of it, when I did, like when I put that first rubber through, it wasn't half as this long. But when I stretched it out so that I can get it on my head and adjust it, the rubber just went through and I couldn't get it out. So I had to end up pulling it out and feeding another piece of rubber through. And that's why I made it so long so that I can adjust and unadjust it. I got to figure something out. But like I said, I'm thinking about sewing a little pocket on there. So after I adjust it, let me try that, guys, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back again. And this is how much elastic I cut off. This long piece and this piece. And what I did was made some minor adjustments. I tied some thick knots on the end, and I kind of sewed close around here, but so it can still slide, you know, so that it'll be tight and these knots won't go inside. So let me see if that helps. Just trying to see how long that fabric will be. The elastic will be. Hopefully it's not as long as it was before. Still looking kind of long though. But I'm going to do this again and I'm going to figure this thing out. But even though this is, might look tighter than the other ones, because they were actually, I don't know if that was, it says satin, but satin shouldn't stretch like that material stretch. I'm going to show you the difference. But anyway, Yeah, I didn't see how I was going to do the little pocket. But like I said, this is good enough for me while I'm in the house sleeping. That's less rubber, a lot less, so that shouldn't be a problem to tuck. And like I said, it's loose. I'll probably just turn that round in the back and tuck. And you can adjust it to how you want it. But I want to figure out how to really perfect these, because I am going to perfect them. Believe me, I am. And I am going to sell them on my eBay store. Very comfortable. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Have you ever woke up with like a super sore ear and you trying to figure out where it come from, and then you figure out that it's the dang on elastic, and you know every time you wake up you have that elastic indentation around your forehead? But this is comfortable, guys. And see, it don't stretch. And it is satin. I got it from Walmart. The other ones say satin. But let me show you what I'm talking about. They can't be. They got to be having something. One moment. Well, this one definitely is satin, even though it's too small for my head. And it is too tight. And it's not as comfortable as this one. And I can loosen it up. Let me show you the back real quick. It doesn't stretch, so that's not satin. But these, they be advertising as satin. And satin don't stretch like that. Especially whatever this is. That's got some stretch in it. And I don't think stretch material is good for locking in moisture, keeping out split ends. But when I perfect these, I'll let you all know, and I will sell them on my eBay store. But I am going to actually sell the 100% silk, which is better. Silk, I started to try doing this with silk, but silk material is like anywhere from $98 per yard to, on sale, $30 to $60 a yard. And I didn't want to mess that up. But once I did get these perfected the way that they're, you know, like really workable and look really professional, then I'll put them on my eBay store and let you guys know. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and of course comment. And have yourself a wonderful, beautiful, marvelous day.